Hello everyone, let me hope we are all fine. Today we are going to talk about word processing, and under word processing we have many applications we can use for word processing, but the main one is Microsoft Word. So we are going to focus on Microsoft Word. So let's get started on our part 1 of the lesson of word processing. So let us get started on our lesson of word processing part 1. We are going to go through some notes. Introduction to word processing. So the objectives of this lesson, part 1, describe the basic functions of word processing program and the types of projects that are best managed by using it. Define common terms related to word processing. Use appropriate keyboard shortcuts to speed up document creation and editing. Describe the basic MS Word window and related navigational functions. Create, format, edit, save, spell check, and print Microsoft Word documents. Use the appropriate features when creating Word documents. So those are some of the objectives. Those are the objectives of this introduction to word processing. So let us go to the introduction. A word processing program permits us to manipulate text and related objects such as pictures. If the need is to use mathematical processes to manipulate numbers or to manage data, then a word processing program is not the correct application to use. The main purpose of word processing program is to permit the user to create text documents, edit, insert, delete, and replace text and objects, format the document to increase readability and appearance, print a copy of the document and save the document for future use or reference. This chapter provides the basics of word processing using Microsoft Word 10. So we are using Microsoft Word. In my notes, we are using Microsoft Word 10 as the application, Microsoft Word 10. Leave alone the other updates that you have. Many of you have 2019, 2016, 2018, but we are using 2010 because most of the updates came from, they updated most 2010 with the different versions that we have. So definitions. So we are going to understand some of the common concepts related to text manipulation. Makes using the help system easier and increase your problem solving skills when things go wrong. When you understand some of these common concepts related to text manipulation, it makes it easier for you and it will increase your problem solving skills when things go wrong. So you need to understand some of these texts, some of these definitions. Block number 1. A block is a selected, highlighted section of text that the program treats as a unit. You can apply most individual formatting functions such as bold and underline to block of text, thereby making formatting and editing functions much more efficient. Now let me show you. I will be doing this when I will be going through the notes. To open Word, you press the Windows key plus R, it will bring this dialog box and you write in WinWord. You press OK just as the shortcut. It is like a shortcut. If you have Word, it will come. So I open, I write something. Lesson on word processing part 1. So now what they mean by a block is a selected highlighted section of text that the program treats as a unit is simply this. You highlighting. So that is a block. So I can perform different tasks by increasing, bolding, italicizing, underlining, left aligning, center aligning, right aligning. We are going to talk about this. So what we have to know is anything that you highlight is called a block. It's called a block. So we also have what we call clipboard. A clipboard is a holding area or buffer for copied or cut data for later use. You can place data onto a clipboard and can then paste it into another location within the original document. In Office 2010, the Office clipboard can hold as many as 24 items at a time. That means in other versions, the items have increased, because this was 10. Now we are on 19, so that means the items on the clipboard have increased. So it is 24 items at a time in Office 10. So what I mean by clipboard, when I go back to my document here, I can say Ctrl C. So now when you press Ctrl C, or when you press the Ctrl plus the C button, or when you right click on this document, it is going to bring a dialog that says copy, cut. So for you, so you might wonder, where is the thing, where has my item gone? It has simply gone onto a clipboard. So when it goes on a clipboard, you can paste it. So now you can see this symbol. We all know it is a clipboard. This symbol is a clipboard. We also have what we call format. Formatting is the process of editing the appearance of a document by altering the fonts and using indentations, margins, tabs, justification, and pagination. Format conditions affect the document appearance. In Word, format features vary depending on whether you are formatting characters, brackets, font, size, emphasis, and special effects such as highlight or superscript, subscript. Paragraphs, there is tabs, alignment, indentation, line spacing, and line breaking. All pages, we have headers, footers, margins, paper size, and orientation. So now in formatting, now I have highlighted this. Now when I edit this, I am formatting it. I am changing its appearance. I am changing the way it is looking by doing so. So you can see we have font. Under font, you can do everything that you want. Font, you can change the color to any color of your choice. So under paragraph, that is where center aligning comes in, left aligning, justification, bulleting, number bulleting, and so on. Also under the styles, we can change the styles of that is what we call formatting. We also have what we call hard return. The hard return is a code that you insert in the document by pressing the enter key. A hard return usually makes the end of a paragraph in Word. The paragraph makes a paragraph symbol. Users may toggle in the paragraph markers on to show marks in the document when typing, or toggle them off by clicking the show stroke hide button of the paragraph mark in the paragraph group of the home tab. To always show the show stroke hide feature, click the file tab options, display, and place a check in paragraph marks. So let me show you that paragraph mark as well. Now that hard return is simply when I press enter and I write another statement. Lessons on word processing part 1. So a hard return is always pressing the enter key. Hard return. So now on hard return, it shows, it gives you, it paragraphs your work. It paragraphs whenever you press the enter key, you have pressed the hard return. Whenever you do so, you're creating a paragraph. You're going onto another, you're not going onto another line, but you have pressed a paragraph. Many of the users do a mistake of pressing a hard return. Whenever they see a statement is up, instead of continuing until their statement reaches the margin, they just press the hard return whenever a statement comes to a close. For example, here, full stop, someone enters and starts writing feature, yet this word feature had to be on this line. So whenever you're pressing the enter button key, you're pressing you're commanding a paragraph. So on how to check paragraphs, it is very simple. The paragraph key is there. It is going to show you where all your paragraphs are, where you pressed the enter key button. It is there, so you can just click on it for it not to show. We also have the insert. To insert means to add characters in the text at the point of the cursor, thereby moving all other text to the right. Insert mode is the opposite of overtype mode and is the default in most word processing programs. In Office 2010, the Insert tab is next to the Home tab on the ribbons. Use it to insert pages, tabs, illustrations, links, and so forth. Insert is mainly putting stuff in your document, inserting stuff in your document. That is the Insert tab. Insert tab. Writing is inserting. You have inserted a title in your document. So the Insert tab, under the Insert tab, we use it to insert all of this. We have pages, tables, illustrations, add-ins, media, links, comments, header and footer, text, symbols. We are going to learn all this. We will explore all that. We also have what we call move. Move is a function in word processing programs that permits the user to relocate text or graphics to another place in the document or to another document. Yes, so if I want this Henry Chigozi in document, if I want to move it, I press the Ctrl X, which is, many of us know it as a cut. So I press the Ctrl X and I take it to, for example, I am taking it to a new blank page. So I have pasted it over here. I have moved it from the first page to the second page. That is what we call move. We have outliner. Outliner is a feature of many word processing programs that enables the user to plan and rearrange large documents in an outline form. Yes, so now this outliner, I can take you back to this main document. You can see I used outliner to arrange my document. I did not type in 1, 2, 3, 4. These numbers, there is a feature in Word that enables you to use this feature of outlining your document. Now when I take you to it, so now this outline, I can highlight my document here, outline this paragraph. When I click there, you can say I have outlined my document. That is what we call outline. Now there are many options for outlining your document. There are many options for outlining your document. We also have what we call overtype. Overtype means to replace the character under the cursor by the character typed. To turn it off, click the File tab, click Options, click Advanced, and clearly use the Insert key and use Overtype mode check boxes. So what do they mean by overtype? Overtype. So lesson on word processing part 1. So in case instead of part I have written port, Now my overtype is on. The way I was typing this showed me that my overtype was on. So in case I have written part, now if my overtype is on, this cursor is on after is in between A and R. So when I am writing port instead of part, it is going to erase what is on the right of the cursor. You can see it erased the R and it wrote O, P-A-O-T. So if I don't want that A to be there, it has written put. So that is what we call overtype. Now to make sure it is not on, you come on Options, Advanced, and you uncheck your boxes. Use the Insert key to control overtype mode. It is unchecked, so use overtype mode was on. So I uncheck it and I press OK. That is how we can use overtype. We also have what we call screen tips. Screen tips are small windows that display descriptive text when you rest the pointer on a command or icon. Office 2020 offers enhanced screen tips with larger windows and more text. So now here, this document, I cannot use the screen tip. I can't show it to you. So if I want it, I press Ctrl K to bring the hyperlink. These screen tips are always, you can always see them by the help of the hyperlink. So I press Ctrl K and it brings a dialog box like this. So you text to display. So the screen tip is here. I bring the screen, I click on it and I put in a word. I will say hard. Okay. And so when I click on Adobe and I press OK, you can see now this word port has gone to color blue, which means it is a hyperlink. So I can click on it and it takes me to the exact file that I want. So when you Control plus click to follow link, so I press the Control button and I tick on it so that this location may be unsafe. That is what they are telling me. So this is the screen tip. That is how we deal with a screen tip. Scrolling. Scrolling is a process of moving around a document to view a specific portion of a page of text when the entire document does not fit on the screen. This navigation process does not change the location of the insertion point until the user clicks elsewhere in the document. So I am scrolling, this is scrolling. The reason we scroll, the entire document doesn't fit on one screen. So that is scrolling. You can say I am scrolling. to make sure I get the things that I want. So we also have what we call Smart Art. Smart Art is a feature in Office 2010 that permits you to easily create a visual representation of your information. A common use of it is to display organizational structure in an organization. Word art. This had written I want a word art. I will just insert word art. You can see word art is there, that feature is there, so you can just type in your text. It is one of the ways to modify your texts. We also have what we call soft return. A soft return is the code that program inserts in the document automatically when the typed line reaches the right margin. We also have what we call the template. A template contains pre-designed formats and structure. It creates a copy of itself when you open it. When you select File, New, you will see a list of templates with more available online at office.com. Some common ones are budgets, calendars, memos, and resumes. So when I come on my document here, press Ctrl New. Now this one, when you press Ctrl N, it brings new, which is not the one we want. So you press Ctrl O. When you press Ctrl O and you come here, it is going to show you all these templates. So these are templates. You can just click on what you want. Those are templates. We also have toggle. Toggling switches from one mode of operation to another mode, on or off. For example, user might toggle from insert mode to replace stroke overtype mode. So here you just come options, you toggle around, you unmark, you tick, you unmark. That is toggling around your options. We have what we call work wrap. This feature automatically carries words over to the next line if they extend beyond the margin. If our words extend beyond the margin, it is word wrap that extends them to the next line. Now you can see, now this one was when it reached the margin, it went down, processing part 1. So the word wrap takes it down to the next line. Data exchange. Word processing software saves documents in file formats that are unique to that software program. Office 2010 documents, worksheets, and presentations are saved in XML with extensions that end in X or M. The X indicates an XML file that has no macros, and M indicates the file contains a macro. Now, many word processing programs allow the option of saving documents under another file format by using the Save As feature. So for example, you can save a Microsoft Word 2010 document in several ways, such as Word 2010 document, docs, Word template, .x, rich text, Word 97 to 2003, PDF, or Word XML. This feature permits you to exchange a file with others who are working with different word processing programs, versions, or systems. It also permits you to save a word processing file as a web page. Other file formats are also available by default. Word 2010 uses the docs format. Now, on this document, I press Ctrl S. It will bring Save As. I want to save it here. So you can see save has type Word document. So these are all the options you can save. You can save it as Word document, Word macro enabled document, Word 97 to 2003 document, PDF. All these you can save it. You can save all of these formats or types. Now the reason why we save it is simply because now for me my PC cannot, if it cannot support PDF, if my PC cannot support PDF, it can support a web page, I can say web page, and I save my document as web page. So that person will say I can save the document under web page. So you can save these documents, your documents, under every type of document you want. So saving our work. Every person probably has at least one horror story that he or she can tell about lost data or documents. To avoid accidental loss of data, follow these tips. Number 1. Periodically save your work. When typing a document, the computer holds that document temporarily in random access memory. Once you instruct the program to save the document on storage device, the document exists both in RAM and the storage device. If power goes off, even temporarily, you lose all the data in RAM. While you can set your Office programs to use the auto recover feature. This is not a substitute for regularly saving your work through the save command. Auto recover does not replace the save command. It is only effective for unplanned disruptions such as power outage or a crash. Auto recover files are not designed to be saved when you close the program in an orderly fashion. Conversely, you do not lose data stored on secondary storage devices unless that medium gets corrupted. So now you can save your work. You have to save your work periodically. You have to save your work periodically. Every time you're typing something, you need to be saving. You press Ctrl S. Now when you press Ctrl S and you have saved already, when you have saved already this work somewhere, whenever you press Ctrl S, it will just keep on saving itself. It will just keep on saving itself. It keeps on saving itself whenever we press Ctrl S. You can see it just keeps on saving itself. So when you have not saved, when you're not saving your work, this work is saving itself in what we call RAM. So in case of anything, for example, let us say you're using a desktop and power has gone off. So if power comes back, the option of auto recovery of unsaved data will come if you're using these updated versions. Even Office 2010 can help us. It has that option of auto saving. So if that option is not on your MS Word, you're going to lose your data if you've not been saving. It is going to run away from RAM, because RAM, we know RAM is the random access memory. It is temporarily storage. It is not a permanent storage. Where your work won't, where you won't lose your work is when you save it in ROM or any storage device. That is why you need to keep on saving your work periodically. Pay attention to software warnings. These warnings are hints to remind you that doing certain things will have a predetermined result. For example, saving a document with the same name as another one results in a message. For example, this file, I want to save it as Yocam browser lesson on word processing, and I say save. It has saved itself. So save as, I come probably on my desktop, I save as installation instructions. When I want to save it, it is going to bring me this dialog box that says the file installation instructions for Photoshop already exist. Do you want to replace existing file? Now when you say press existing file, this document that you own is going to take that name, installation instructions for Photoshop. It is going to take that name. So for you on your desktop, you think you have installation instructions for Photoshop. For your surprise, you're going to open your installation instructions for Photoshop. Opening it, it will have a different document, not what you were expected, simply because you said replace existing files rather than save changes with a different names. So when I click here, save changes with a different name, that one, it is going to keep the installation instructions for Photoshop, and it is going to save this one with a different name. So you type in your name, it won't allow you to save. So you need to pay attention to all the instructions, that all the softwares that warnings that come. So asking whether the file is to be replaced, do not respond with replace existing file unless you have no need for the original document or that document that you want. So you can just replace it if you don't need it, but if you need it, save it with a different name. Always keep a backup or duplicate copy of a document. That backup could consist of a CD, USB storage device, or another hard drive. Store the backup in a different place. If something happens to the original document or the computer, the backup copy will then be available for restoring the data. So we just need to save our documents on hard drives, USB storage devices, CDs, just for backup. In case you have lost this one on your computer or your computer has crashed, you just get your document from the CD or the USB storage device. So a particularly valuable document such as this or research paper should have a backup that you keep in a different location from the primary document. Many options for automatic backup are available today from places like Mozihome, Mediafire, or SkyDrive. If you select an online backup service, do your homework first. Some people will also send a copy of the document to themselves as an email attachment, thereby having it in another place, the mail server. So now that is mostly what I do with my documents. I just send them to my email. Because when I send them to my email, when I go to my email, I can see them as sent mails. I have 2 email accounts. What I do, I send one on the another email and this one to another email. So when I check the sent emails, my documents are there. That is backing up. Now what they mean by Mozihome, Mediafire, those are other drives on online or cloud drives that people use to save their work. Word 2010 auto saves the document as a draft for 4 days. When you choose don't save or exist without saving. To find it, click File, Recent, and click the box Recover and Save Documents at the bottom of the page. Again, these files may not be perfect when retrieved or as you remembered them. So that marks the end of our lesson of part 1, Introduction to Word Processing. Feel free to like the video, feel free to dislike if you didn't like it. Comment, ask any question on the video, ask about anything that you did not understand. I will be able to reply immediately under the comments panel. Have a good day.